Live from Columbus, Ohio, it's Motown DownTown!
Motown DownTown, come on down to Motown DownTown.
Today's guest, Radiant Gardeners.
Come on down to Motown DownTown.
My name is Tyson Bruno, and here's your host, Mo Chocolate.
Come on down to Motown DownTown.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Motown DownTown, where we are here to make sure that you have a wonderful time and the greatest time. Yes, we have been gone for a while, but now we're back. Thank you all so much for your patience, thank you for your support, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to watch us here today. Thank you very much. Thank you all so very much. Thank you. Alright, so now that that's out the way, let's welcome our new guest for today, shall we? Drum roll, please. We have not one, but two guests today. A record first for the show. Whether they're playing co-op games together or going the extra mile and sharing the controller together. They're the dynamic duo that always have each other's backs time and time and time again. Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, put your hands together for the nerdiest couple on the internet, Radiant Gardeners!
Hey! Hello. You want us to sit down?
Yes, what's up?
You want us to sit down?
Yes,
right?
yes, please.
Okay.
How's it going, y'all?
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're good.
This is a first. This is a first for the show because y'all have a standing table that you they were standing up and now they're sitting down. That is what? It's the future, bro. It's way too future. But yes, how's it going? For everyone out there who does not know who you are, go ahead and say hello to the audience.
Oh, hello. We are the Radiant Gardeners. I'm Nick.
I'm Nicole.
Yeah, and we play video games together on Twitch and otherwise, and I don't know, we do everything together.
Yeah, we're a couple together.
Yeah, we're dating. We should probably mention that too. But yeah, we decided to share our love for video games with each other publicly and start playing the games that we grew up on that the other hadn't played, and that's kind of how it started, and that's still how it's going.
Nice, nice. Well, hey, hopefully someday I can find a partner also to stream on Twitch. Just saying. Just saying. So my first question for you both is, how did you get into video games?
Oh, do you want to go first or me?
Yeah, I can go first. Yeah. So the first video game I ever played was on the Super Nintendo. Just sitting on the floor, like probably 3 feet away from a CRT, and playing Secret of Mana. And so I played a ton of Secret of Mana. Had no idea what I was playing at the time, and just loved it. Played Super Mario Brothers, and then my parents threw that away. Like, threw the game console away because the news was saying video games are bad for kids. So then, like, years later, I got a computer, like just a crappy gateway, and started playing video games on it. Just everything I could get my hands on. I'd go over to friends' houses and play on their consoles, like
Nice.
their PS1, their PS2. So a lot of my original gaming was playing at other people's houses and just being addicted. And then I got into all the other consoles and stuff over time. Got a DS, all those things, and yeah,
Nice.
now I can buy whatever I want. I own whatever I want.
The perks
Play
of
whatever I want.
being adult. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. What about you?
Yeah. I have an older brother who's 3 years older than me, so he would get games like Zelda Ocarina of Time and Kingdom Hearts, and so I watched him play those games, and then I immediately wanted to play them after, but he always got to play them first. And then as we got older, like over summer breaks or winter breaks, I would just play games all summer. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. So my next question is, what your earliest memory? Like, were you guys Team Nintendo or Sega?
Okay, so I can answer this one first too. I didn't know Sega existed.
Yeah, me
For
too.
a really
Actually.
long
Really?
Yeah, I didn't really understand what Sega was until they were at the point where they weren't making their own consoles anymore, and I thought they were just a video game developer, and then I found out about like Dreamcast and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo for me as well, because I just didn't know either.
Nice. We all love Nintendo here also. And your favorite console and why?
Ooh. Oh, I'm kind of torn because I don't know. I love the PlayStation 4 a lot. There's just not enough on the 5 yet. Um, but I really love the Switch. I love just being able to take it anywhere and to split the controller. That's how like we first learned that we could do that.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just like I like all the fun party games on it. So,
I think I'm gonna say Game Boy Advance because that's what I have the most nostalgia for. Like, I guess that's the first console I really owned. I kind of skipped over that before, but that was where I would just like lay on the floor, playing way past my bedtime, just in love with all of like just the dumbest games I could get my hands on. Whatever I was gifted for Christmas or my birthday or whatever, I would plug it in and I would just play it forever.
Nice.
And that nostalgia, I think, just makes me love that console so much.
Alright, I'm there with you, buddy. Now, do you both have a favorite and least favorite game?
oh.
The least favorite's actually harder, I think.
Yeah, that's what's harder for me is I have my favorite. There's gotta be a game I don't like though.
Yeah, well, we can say our favorites first then.
Yeah, well, my favorite is Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 3,
Hey.
but the whole series.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. For me, it's very, very tough. It's very tied up at the top. So I'll give 3 answers. Kingdom Hearts is my favorite series. I think. Okay, I'll give like 4 answers, I guess. Final Fantasy VII Remake is the best game I've ever played, but it's not necessarily my favorite. BioShock Infinite, I absolutely love, so it's a top contender. And then Titanfall 2 is like the best first-person shooter mechanics I've ever played ever, and I don't know how it gets better than that. So those 4 all kind of compete. And it
Nice.
depends on how I'm feeling, which one's first place.
Now, my next question is probably the one question you both get the most. How did you both meet? Like, what is your love story between you both? Like, when you met, the pickup lines you went with, the first date, and how it blossomed into becoming the best couple on Twitch. Let us know.
Oh, God.
Well, so we actually met on Hinge, which is a dating app.
Hinge?
Yeah, Hinge.
Never heard of it.
It went really well for us. We just started talking for like a week or so, and then we met in person. It was actually pretty crazy because I had a hair competition that I was asked to be in, where someone was styling my hair, and so she needed me to go shopping for a dress in his town, and so we decided to meet a day early. But then the next day, like our official date was the hair competition.
Yeah.
So I dragged him along to that.
Yeah. Yep. So that was the weirdest first date I've ever been on.
You're welcome.
Because I showed up to this casino where this was happening, and I had no idea where anything was. I didn't know how to get in. I'd never been there before. And then I had to go in and just sit in the audience because you were backstage. And so I watched the whole show.
In the very back row.
Yeah, I did sit in the very back row. I'm an anxious bean. And then I found you, and then we really had our date after that where we got lunch, I think, and then went and saw Shazam.
Nice.
Yep.
And then
We just kept hanging out. And
Yeah.
then about a month later, we officially started dating.
yeah. Yep, which was 3 years ago last Saturday. Or a week from today. Yeah.
Congrats. Congratulations. And that segues into my next question. How did you guys meet, become a thing, and then how did that transition into content creation on Twitch and YouTube and stuff?
Me start?
Yeah, go ahead.
So at first we had talked about, so we were sharing a bunch of our favorite games and having the other person play it. And then Nicholas, I didn't know that like streaming and Twitch was a thing, but Nicholas brought up starting a YouTube channel together. So we tried making a few recordings and I edited them, but none of them have been released.
They're uploaded. They're just not released.
Yeah, they are uploaded. And then about a year after that, we were trying to get the Ultima weapon in Kingdom Hearts 3, and we just decided to go live.
Yeah.
And we had no camera.
Wow.
We were streaming from the PlayStation.
Yeah, it was this moment of like, we keep coming up with all these reasons why we need like this piece of equipment first, or we need to have this idea fleshed out first. And I was like, why don't we just go live on Twitch, see what happens, and go from there rather than putting all this pressure on ourselves. And we did it, and we liked it. And then we started buying equipment and created the setup. Like, just kept going from there.
Yeah.
Nice. And how was that first stream for y'all when you clicked the live button for the first time? What was that like?
We were pretty nervous, I think, just because like the idea of being live on the internet still is just super weird, right? Like, like it's like people just being in your house, you know. And I mean, just like one-on-one conversations with people, I still get a little nervous. It's not that much of a problem for me anymore. It depends, but like strangers, I don't know. I just like worry about what people think about me a lot, or I used to more. And when I was like hitting that button, I was like, oh God, here it all goes. Like the dam's gonna break open, and like anyone can say whatever they want. Anyone can judge me. I was terrified, but I was excited too because we had talked about it for so long.
Yeah, I was just excited and kind of in shock because I didn't expect him to just be like, you know what, let's just set up an account and go live. Like we made the account and then went live.
Yeah, it was that fast.
Nice.
But yeah, it was awesome. Unfortunately, we don't have that VOD because we didn't record it, but we have one clip from that stream, so we have one memory from it.
Yeah.
And is that why? Because my next question is your online name, Radiant Gardener. Were you just in a hurry to go live? You're like, were you in Radiant Gardening when you made that name?
No, we were not. I don't exactly remember how we picked that name. We loved Radiant Garden, and we thought it was very fitting, and we wanted to like foster a community that was kind of like garden based.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We picked it thinking that we might end up changing it.
Yeah. And we picked that, I think, within 5 minutes of going live, or like within 5 minutes of making the account, at least. Like, it was like, let's go live. Okay, we need an account name. What do we go with? I think there were maybe like 10 different ideas thrown out maximum.
Yeah.
We picked Radiant Gardeners, and that was it.
Yep.
And we haven't changed it yet.
Yeah.
I like it because it's like one is the Radiant, one is the garden, pretty much.
Radiant.
Now, my next question is, what is the one game that gave you the best streaming experience, and the one game that was the worst streaming experience?
Ooh.
That is such a good question.
Yeah,
I knew you were gonna ask that question, and I still don't have an answer for it.
Yeah, it's tough because like some of these games they had really fun moments, but then just some like horrible streams. So like Super Mario 64 was so much fun, but man, were we miserable sometimes because we controller split that, and that was actually our second game controller splitting, but it was hard.
It was hard.
Yeah, before you continue. Yeah, people, when you're playing a game, they're literally doing this. One hand is controlling here, other hand controlling here. You try playing a game with one hand. Not easy, but these two do that. Super impressive. But yeah, that's what y'all do, right? You split controllers?
Yeah, we started with just like each holding a Joy-Con,
Yeah.
and then we were even able to connect the Joy-Cons to the PlayStation, and that stopped working. So now we hold, if we're not playing a Switch game, we hold PS4 controllers. We
Yeah.
both have one, but only half of the buttons are mapped.
Yeah, I have some software
Wow.
that I modified so that I can map half of the inputs from one and half of the inputs from the other.
Mhm.
And so like you can press the buttons on one of them and nothing happens, like the ones that aren't yours, and nothing happens. And yeah, the software like merges them together and then it goes on as one controller. And so that's what we use now because it's low latency.
Yeah.
So even when you're fighting a boss, that's what you're doing?
Yeah. We both have like an entire controller.
Wow.
But like you have to not press the buttons that you don't actually have. Like you have to remember that the other one is in control of like dodging. In Kingdom Hearts, like knowing who has dodge, who has attack,
Mhm.
Getting all the timing down, knowing when to spam, when to not spam.
Yeah, and we used to deal with lag a lot more, but now luckily that's fixed. But like we used to do Kingdom Hearts speedruns, and like I would press the jump button and Sora would jump like 3 seconds later.
Mhm.
And that was hard. That was
Yeah.
our very first speedrun that happened.
Well, yeah, because I remember I tried doing a speedrun also, and I watched your speedrun, how, but had I known you were splitting a controller, that's, wow. Like, there's never, ever going to be a time in my life where I'm going to be that badass. So I'm, like, bowing at your feet right now. Y'all are just so talented. But if I were to guess your best streaming experience, would it be It Takes Two?
Oh,
Ooh,
that one was really fun.
that was really easy to play. Like that game is just so much fun to play. I do think that the best experience, like streaming experience, was for me. It was Super Mario Sunshine because it was all of the like comedy, like this, just the jankiness, the like awkwardness of working together. It
Mm-hmm.
was a simple game. It was a simple enough game that we could get a good amount done in one stream. But it was 64, but better for us. And I'm not saying that Sunshine's better than 64. Please don't come after me. But for us streaming it, like we had kind of matured a bit more at that point, and we had found a rhythm, and Sunshine just felt really good to play. That was when we got the biggest raid we've ever gotten in our streaming career, I guess.
Nice.
And that was insane. Uh, it's that or it's the speed run for KH20.
Yeah, the KH20 speedrun was incredible. I actually just remembered probably our worst streaming experience though was do you remember what is it called? The Breakfast Bunch?
Yeah,
Oh,
Brunch Club.
Brunch Club. Yeah, that was close. But it's like it's this game where you have to control like the fork or the knife and like butter a piece of toast and you move as the toast into the toaster. It was miserable. It was pretty bad.
It was fun, but it was stressful.
The sushi one.
That was
Pretty bad.
Gotcha. Now, what would you say, like? Because one thing I love about your stream is that there's two of you. So does one of you like read the chat while the other one plays, or vice versa?
We kind of do a mix. I don't really even think about it. We just
Yeah.
do it. We kind of both take over at different times. Sometimes it works against us a little bit when like we're trying to focus on a boss and one of us will look over and then
Yeah.
it just doesn't work.
Yeah. It depends on the game too. So like
Yeah.
we played Final Fantasy X the other day and it was just me playing it.
Mm-hmm.
So then Nicole was able to read chat more while I focused on the game a bit more. It depends. If we're both playing because we're controller splitting or it's a co-op game, then it is like darting your eyes off to the side, and then sometimes we interrupt each other a little bit, but we're getting better at that.
Gotcha. And that's the thing is like when you're playing, it makes it so much easier when someone else is reading the chat, right?
Yeah.
So that's like
yeah.
that's like one of the pros of streaming with a partner.
Yep.
Yeah, I think also just having like someone with different ideas and maybe a different reaction to the chat messages next to you It's
Yeah.
really nice that like, sometimes I don't know what to say right away, but Nicole does. Or like sometimes a message is directed more at Nicole and not at so much at me, and so like it takes the pressure off a little bit more. There's more of an ebb and flow rather than having to be 100% on the entire time.
Yeah, we fill in each other's gaps pretty
Yeah.
well.
Okay.
It's another thing that we're team working basically.
Yeah.
Nice. So my next question is actually a request because you both have a certain catchphrase that I love. When I first met y'all and I heard this catchphrase, I was like, I don't know what this is, I don't know where this came from, but I love it. I literally want this as a ringtone. Can you please say those famous 3 words that I love so much?
Zing a ding ding.
Thank you. Good night, everybody. That's why we're here. What is the story behind that word? I never thought that Zynga and Dinga going together would be so perfect. What's the origin story of Zynga Ding Ding? Please tell us.
So we were playing Skyward Sword HD, and I was attempting to voice act as the lightning dragon. I don't remember his name, and he was like this like old sick guy at first, and then we gave him a potion to heal him, and the next thing he says after that is zing a ding ding, and I knew that I was just gonna have to have this like powerful, healthy voice, and that's what came out.
Love it. And what made y'all decide that as a alert? Out of all the sounds y'all make, why that one specifically?
I don't know.
This is another thing where like we just kind of were like, we need a bit alert. We need it to be unique. And so we're like, well, let's just like go through our clips or something real quick. Like, let's just find something. And you found that and you're like, I think that's pretty good. And you put it together. And then we were like, yeah, that's probably fine. We uploaded it and then people liked it. And now I think it's like more iconic to us. I don't want to really claim that it's iconic, but like for us, every time we hear it, I think it like makes getting bits even better for us.
Yeah, it just makes me smile.
Yeah. And it reminds us of that just super goofy moment and like how goofy streaming can be too.
Yeah.
On my gravestone, I wanted to say to my friends and family, I love you all, and in brackets, zing a ding ding. Just saying. So my next question is, what would be your advice for anyone that wants to start streaming on Twitch right now, like the equipment and games to play? What's your advice for potential streamers?
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't feel qualified to answer that question.
Yeah, I think just like be patient with yourself. Know that it takes a while. It takes a lot of practice to get used to it. We're still getting used to it, and we're almost 2 years in. But definitely make sure that you're playing the games you want to play. Don't let people pressure you into playing games that you're not interested in. That doesn't mean you can't try them, but you can try it and then never have to play that game again.
Yeah, I guess along those lines, like be selfish with it. I think there's a lot of pressure to be like super altruistic and kind of make yourself the servant of your chat and anyone who comes through, and I think that can create a toxic relationship with it. And I know a lot of people have gone through this too. So like this is the part I guess that isn't talked about that much, but like it's tough to remember that like you're doing it because you want to do it. And that should be the number one reason you're like turning the camera on. So like maybe that's a little more of like a sad answer, but like I'll just spin it back around. Make sure you're enjoying it. Not just like, oh, you have to enjoy it, but like don't do it if you don't enjoy it, and find the things that you enjoy doing. So like along the same lines, like play the games you want to play, not what's popular, because like the competition side alone, like that you'll have more competition with the popular games, you will put pressure on yourself to enjoy something that you're not ready to enjoy, and your audience can kind of feel that you're pushing yourself.
Yeah, and if you're not enjoying something, that doesn't mean that you have to stop. It just means you have to keep playing around until you find the thing that you do enjoy. Because some things just work better off stream.
Okay.
Yeah. And as far as equipment goes, I would say don't really worry about it. Like we got lucky that we also were both into music beforehand, so we had a lot of nicer equipment from those pursuits. But really, like our favorite people on Twitch, like you can't tell that this is the other thing. You can't tell what microphone people have. I know there's a lot of pressure to like get the best equipment, but you can't tell what camera someone has or what microphone they have unless they tell you. And usually you're focused on the content. So like the only requirement is that things are clear enough to receive the content. So like to receive the audio and to receive the video. And if people can tell what you're saying and see what you're doing, if you're being animated or whatever, then you're making the content. So
Okay, those are fantastic advice. Thank you. Thank you very much. And compared to when you first went live to now, how much do you think you've improved?
Oh, so much. It. I'll just start again. I know I keep starting.
No, you're fine.
But for me, I am a very socially anxious person, and it's really let me be more comfortable with myself and be goofier, and like I finally feel like I'm just like fully myself on stream. It's also helped me like off stream. Like my personality has just like bloomed because of this. Because I'm not really afraid anymore. People, you're gonna find the people that love you no matter what. There are always gonna be people that don't like you, and that's okay. But why would you pretend to be someone that you're not when there's always a group for you? But yeah, I just like my confidence has grown
That's good.
like crazy.
Yeah, I have a very similar experience, so I won't like rehash that too much. But yeah, I feel more confident. I feel more comfortable being who I am. And then the other thing, I guess, is just that we've failed so many times, and like the failure is like it can be defined different ways, but we've tried a lot of different things. We've tried different strategies. We've listened to certain pieces of advice from this place and this place. We've tried a lot of things, and a lot of them have not gone well. And I actually am really grateful at this point for that, because now I feel like I have grown, because I can kind of measure it in the number of failures we've had rather than like the amount of success we've had, because the success feels more fragile, whereas like now I feel more resilient to whatever happens in a given stream. Like I understand OBS really well now. The equipment, I know how to handle a malfunction. I know how to handle my malfunction when like my brain is super foggy or whatever. It was a long work day. How do I act on stream? Like so many failures make me feel more comfortable and confident now.
Yeah, so basically you guys go from a Charmander to a full blown Mega Charizard, basically.
Yes,
Love
instantly.
Yeah, I feel more like a Charmeleon maybe.
But speaking of Pokemon, are you guys into a Smash Bros?
Yeah, I think me more so than you, but like I'm not even that crazy on it. But like growing up with a older brother, like I had to learn it, and I had to get decent at it.
Because I'm sure you know why I brought up Smash Bros, right? Yes, let's talk about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, shall we? Okay, so my first question is, what is your favorite and least favorite character reveal in Ultimate?
Would you like to go first?
Yeah. I think my favorite is Sephiroth. Because that song, I know Sora being announced was phenomenal.
We will get to that, yes.
But for me, like the music and Sephiroth being in the sky and slicing those like whatever orb things that they are in the story, like just the power that's communicated with his introduction resonates with me so much. And like I want to be able to write a character and display a character the same way that they display Sephiroth. So that's my favorite.
And
What's your favorite?
What were you gonna say, Mo?
And least favorite?
Oh, my least favorite reveal? Like Mithra and Pyra, I guess, just because I don't know them. and it just didn't excite me at all. Like even Steve or like Ryu, I think it was.
Oh, preach, bro, preach.
Like those I was like, I at least got a chuckle out of them, or like Ryu, I was like, okay, that makes sense, that's cool. But Mithra and Pyra, I was like, I don't know who these people are, and I was also tired of Smash at the time, so I think that like impacted my reaction to it.
Yeah. Yeah, my favorite was Sora. I did like Sephiroth a lot. I thought it was a really cool reveal. But I don't know, it's Sora. Sora's the best, and that was
Seriously.
so exciting, and there was like so much love surrounding that reveal that was incredible. You just saw like so many people super excited. Um, so it was just a really cool feeling that I don't think I'm gonna forget ever.
Yeah.
But least favorite, I haven't really followed the reveals. Those were the two that I've seen, so I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, mine has to be Steve. Like I woke up early and everything like, and I'm like, oh my god, Mario's in darkness. It has to be Sora. And I see Steve. I turn off my stream immediately and go to bed. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. No. Like I understand Minecraft is the biggest game in the world, but I don't like it, man. I'm sorry, I don't like it at all. So that's my pick. But yeah, let's talk about Sora for Smash because my god, it like you said that's an experience we're never going to have happen ever again, to have a character that literally the half the internet said he'll never get in, and the other half saying he will get in. What was your like initial reaction when you saw Sora, when you saw Mario carry the Keyblade, and you saw the Mickey Mouse emblem? What was your first thought when you saw that?
I had a feeling it was going to be Sora, but like I didn't want to get my hopes up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, or not a feeling that I didn't think, sorry. I thought there was a good chance it could be Sora. I wasn't sure if it actually was going to be that day.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember just seeing the chain pop out, and just like I had the silent scream because Nicholas was in a meeting in the other room. But I was just super excited.
Yeah, I remember like being on a video call for work in a meeting, having it up on the side, and I just saw the Keyblade in the flames like as it was spinning, and this big dumb smile came over my face because I had seen Twitter leading up to that. I was like, God, people are so annoying about being so down on Sora not being in Smash. Why would he not be in Smash? Like,
Yeah.
why would he, like, there's no actually good reason. Like, none of you work there.
Yeah.
Unless you work there and you're like, oh, just letting you guys know he's not going to be in Smash. You don't know. And I just felt so, like, I hadn't been invested in this at all. I don't really play Smash that much. And I had played Kingdom Hearts for the first time within, like, 2 years of that announcement, I think. So I didn't have a ton of hype for it. But I saw everyone else's hype for it and how much people wanted it, and I felt so happy for them. And I also felt so happy that all of those people, the naysayers, just looked like idiots because they had nothing to base it on to begin with, and then they were wrong. So I was like, yeah, maybe just chill
Seriously.
out in the future.
It's like, oh, Disney went out loud because they're stingy, and then like, then crickets. For 7 years, they were like, he's not getting in. Stop being dumb. He's not getting in. He gets in. Crickets. Not a single person said anything, bro. It was hilarious. But so yeah, I mean, you all saw my reaction, right?
Oh yeah,
It was incredible.
That was 7 years of pent up hype that just came out. And that was just because I thought it was going to be Master Chief or Crash Bandicoot, but it was a genuine reaction for me. I was so surprised. So love that. Now let's say you both were in charge of Smash Bros. Okay, and you could pick one character to get into Smash Bros. Who would it be and why?
Ooh.
yeah. I'm gonna need a second on
Yeah,
that one.
I have kind of a silly one. So I
Alright.
am a huge fan of Sly Cooper. If they could put Sly in,
That's a good answer.
that would be super cool.
People, the internet would break if Sly Cooper got in, for real.
Yep. Start
Oh.
whacking people with a cane.
That's honestly like, I don't know how I'm gonna top that. I had said someone back when we were waiting for it to be announced. There's a YouTube short of me saying
You said Impa.
Impa. Oh yeah, Impa from Legend of Zelda. Yeah. I really like
That'd be
playing
cool.
in Age of Calamity. So Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I think that the way that she operates in that is super cool. All of like the Sheikah runes and magic and stuff like that. I just thought that it would be a really cool play style that would be different enough from Link. I would love to play that in Smash.
Nice. Now, for me, like, honestly, Sora was my #1 pick, but now that he's in, Kratos. Kratos is my final pick. God of War 1 to 3 Kratos or God of War 4 Kratos. Any Kratos would be fine. I don't think that's ever going to happen because Nintendo and PlayStation don't really get along, but that's like, I'm very happy with Sora. So that's my next pick. Yeah. But speaking of Sora, how did you both come across Kingdom Hearts? Like your first time seeing it, what were your first thoughts when you first saw Kingdom Hearts?
I'll go first because I enjoy.
I love how you have to establish who goes first. That's so funny.
But I watched my brother play it, and I just fell in love with the story. He played it. It must have been really close to when it came out, at least. And somewhere like after 2, like we made sure we both played every game, but somewhere after 2, it just became my absolute favorite game. And I didn't have to wait to watch him play it first anymore. But I've just loved it for so long.
Nice.
I haven't known very many people in the Kingdom Hearts community until we started streaming, so it's been really nice finally getting to talk with so many people that love the series.
For real.
Yeah. And then I made him play the game, and he can take over.
Yeah, so my first introduction to Kingdom Hearts was before we met, where I was shown a video that was like Kingdom Hearts in a nutshell or something like that, or like Kingdom Hearts Explained. And it was, of course, like taking the piss of it being a confusing story, weird characters, awkward dialogue delivery, all these things. And I remember saying at that time, I was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever play that. And like fast forward, I think a year and a half or something like that. And, you know, we had started dating, and you were like, my favorite game is Kingdom Hearts. Like, you really got to try it. So I was like, okay, well, I really want to impress her, so I will do anything. And like, I originally said that I wasn't going to play these games, but I can be a hypocrite. And I tried it, and Kingdom Hearts 1 was frustrating, but I also loved it. Like, it just, for me, it reopened the love that I had kind of lost the previous 4+ years. Like, back when basically all the way back to like having a DS. And just being addicted to a game and like feeling such a pure happiness playing it rather than this like pressure to be good at it or, you know, have a sophisticated opinion or something like that. I just felt happy playing it. I felt like it was super well designed where I didn't know anything and I could get into it really, really quickly. You could feel that the depth was there, but it wasn't intimidating. And from there, I spent like the next year and a half, I think, catching up on the series.
Yeah.
Or I think it was like a year in which a year and like a few months playing them. And I finished Kingdom Hearts 3 in 2020, in August of 2020, I think.
Yeah, it was a couple months after Remind came out, because I remember having to wait a little bit to play that.
Yeah. I was like hurrying a little bit to finish up Kingdom Hearts 3 so that we could get Remind and then play it.
Okay, so y'all didn't have to wait 13 years to play it?
I did.
Yeah, she did. I didn't.
Oh, you're so lucky.
Yeah. I have a very different relationship with it than a lot of other people because I finished Dream Drop Distance and I started Kingdom Hearts 3 like immediately after. Never had time to like come up with my own hopes and dreams for it, and so none of those were crushed. You know, I just got to play a fantastic game and was super happy with it. Then I found out nobody liked it. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought it up because that's actually my next question. What are your guys' thoughts on the hate that Kingdom Hearts 3... Me personally, I love it. Love the game. Even before Remind, I loved it. But what are your guys' thoughts on the hate it gets, and is it warranted?
I think it's a little unfair, but it also makes sense because, like you were saying, people were waiting for so long,
Mm-hmm.
and so everyone had built up expectations. And when one game couldn't fit everything in, I think people were just upset. But it makes sense that they could only do so much. I think they did a really good job with the game, and the story and trying to close everything. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, but
Mm-hmm.
I actually enjoyed it more the second time playing it. I was watching you play it. But like getting to take the pressure off of like playing it for the first time and just like watch the story unfold. It was so much nicer.
Yeah, I I don't think hatred toward any game is justified. Um,
Nice.
like hatred toward developers making games isn't justified.
Yes, agree.
Um, I agree with you completely. We've talked about this plenty. That like, yeah, you're gonna be disappointed. You're not gonna have a thing in it that you wanted. But I guess my stance on this is that like, before I invalidate people having opinions on media, people having opinions on media is what drives the industry forward
Mm-hmm.
and like motivates, you know, continued production of media. Like an audience needs to exist and be passionate enough in order for you to keep creating media. But on the other hand, if you're not creating media, you cannot so heavily criticize the people putting in the effort, building the talent, investing the money and the time, like unless you're doing it yourself as well, you don't have, you know, really a great platform to go and criticize people who spent 6 years of their life building something that you're gonna play for 30 hours. Like,
Agree.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys have a favorite and least favorite Kingdom Hearts moment
Moment.
in all of Kingdom, from 1 to 3?
Um,
Do, do, do,
Well-
do, 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 do.
in Kingdom Hearts 1, I love the scene where Kairi brings Sora back from being a Heartless. That always just like
Mhm.
warmed my heart to hug. And then a least favorite. Oh, what would be a least favorite?
Every time Donald doesn't heal you.
Yeah, every time he points out that there are ingredients in the area.
You strangle him.
For me, I think one of my favorite moments is in Dream Drop Distance, which that poor game, it doesn't get enough love. But that's the game where you like cut buildings in half as you're running on them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's a good.
Like, do we not appreciate how awesome that game is and like
Seriously.
how you're just like running through a falling city or something and Sora is so powerful that he can cut buildings in half? Like, that for me, that's where I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. And then I got to play Kingdom Hearts 3, and that was just like taking that even further.
Mhm.
And my least favorite moment, oh man, I think just Ursula.
Yeah, you hate
Like,
it.
Kingdom Hearts
Yeah.
1 Ursula.
I believe
Yeah.
that. Just spinning around like crazy.
Yeah, and the giant head version, you
Yeah.
really got mad at that.
Yeah.
First time
That nearly
raging.
made me stop playing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause-
Everything was fine up until then.
Because you guys don't rage that often, do you? But that boss made you just want to smash your controller, huh?
Yeah, I haven't gotten super angry and too frequently in a long time.
I don't think super angry.
Yeah.
Like we both have our moments where we get
Yeah.
upset, but we don't ever really want to like throw a controller or anything.
Yeah, I don't like getting angry.
Mhm.
Like I feel embarrassed and I feel bad when I get angry, especially at a video game. So I don't really get angry anymore like I used to when I was young and immature.
Well,
But
that's the
that-
thing.
Put it back.
That's the thing is like, but it is understandable because Kingdom Hearts has some of the most difficult bosses in gaming history. It's like, do you guys have what boss do you think is the most difficult boss ever in the Kingdom Hearts?
For a while, I'm gonna have two answers. So for a while, it was Clayton for me, who is really not. But then, Kingdom Hearts 2, Zaldin on the bridge in Beauty and the Beast.
Oh my god.
That one was horrible. You beat
I
that
hate
first.
Zolden so much. I hate
So
him.
yeah, it was such a bad boss, or
Mhm.
not a bad boss, but a hard
Yeah.
boss. And I had like Mickey save me. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've only played through the entire series once, and then Kingdom Hearts 1 I've played a bunch. But the part I remember being the most disappointed in the series with is the Pirates of the Caribbean boss fight in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
That is one of the lamest moments in the series. And so it's not necessarily the difficulty, but just that it was boring and dumb for me. And I'm sorry, but like that just it still fit well enough, but it's so slow just flying around. So for me, like that's the low point
Yeah,
boss wise.
that's fair.
Agreed. Yeah. For me, it has to be Lingering Will. That motherfucker took me 3 years to defeat. So yeah, that's my hardest one. I mean, I haven't fought Yozora yet, so that's a whole nother ball game. But speaking of Yozora, y'all want to talk about Kingdom Hearts 4? Yeah. When that was announced, like, I called it. I was like, wait, the sword with one finger is next to the sword with 2 fingers. That's 4. Guys, Kingdom Hearts 4. And they're like, no, you're crazy. Shut up. They're like, oh my god, you're right. So, did you guys, did you stay up late to watch the reveal? Did you think it was going to be 4? And what was your reaction when you found out it was going to be 4?
We don't have a super exciting story because we had company that weekend, so we didn't stay up all night. We kind of just went to bed, and then we woke up and you looked at the tweets and you saw that Kingdom Hearts 4 was announced, and so then we were super excited, but it didn't feel real. And we waited to watch the trailer for it until we knew we could sit down and record it. But we had already seen the thumbnail. So there was like a little bit of surprise lost there. But it was still super exciting, and I think the trailer looks really good. It doesn't have a ton to it, but I'm excited by it.
For real. It's for me. I was asleep. My friend called me and said, "Watch this right now." So I ran down here, turned on my camera, and I pushed play at the timestamp. And at first I'm like, "Wait, is that Sora? Why does he look so different?" I'm like, but then I saw the gameplay. I was like, "No fucking ways! It's Kingdom Hearts 4." It was Kingdom Hearts 4. It's just crazy to me because when Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced, we did not have this community, this audience, you know? And now that we have an actual audience and a community, we can all be excited together for Kingdom Hearts 4. And speaking of community, does your community have a nickname?
Yeah, the garden.
The garden.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. Mine's the Coco crew. Now, what do you guys think is inside the black box?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea actually.
I do.
You probably have theories.
Yeah. You know, like Mickey's cartoonish white glove
Yes.
right on his hand? I think it's just laying there with a middle finger up inside of it. Just a glove, like, kind of...
Middle finger.
Yeah, a limp glove laying there with the middle finger
That's
propped
funny.
up. Yep, just all of this was for nothing.
Here's my theory. Did you guys notice that Sephiroth was not in Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah.
He's in the box. That's why.
Oh,
That's why he's not
Why
in
did
the
he get in the box?
3. Mind blown. Now, do you guys think it's possible? Because I think with the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, they're making it seem like there's not going to be there'll be Disney characters, but not necessarily a Disney World. Now, do you guys think Kingdom Hearts can exist without Disney Worlds?
yeah, so we were watching a Sarah Key video, and there's a little bit from her stream where she was playing Melody of Memory, where I think they were talking about live action Disney properties. And that really got me thinking that, like, if, you know, there's reality, right, and unreality or whatever, that like what if they go through all of the live action properties in 4, or like that's the emphasis. Um, so I think there's still room there for Disney to work with. And then um, I also I have a feeling that Kingdom Hearts 4 will be about oscillating back and forth, like not just traveling from world to world in one reality, but transcending the different realities.
That's my guess as well. Yeah.
I like that. And I think people are saying that now that they're going for a more realistic look, like one live action property they have is Star Wars and Marvel. So do you think it's possible to see those two franchises in the? Because apparently there's a Star Wars droid or something in the trailer.
Yeah, so I think it's definitely possible. I don't know if they will or not. Like, my thought is that could have just been an Easter egg just for fans, not necessarily a sign that a Star Wars world was going to be put in. But it's definitely possible, and as long as they do a good job incorporating them, then I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I think that there's a good chance, there's a better chance of cameo appearances. So
Mhm.
like Scrooge McDuck, that kind of thing where like wherever the kind of like basin is where everyone gathers in between worlds, or whatever the structure is of Quadratum's plane of existence, that like Han Solo will be there, but you don't have a fully fledged Star Wars world because that's too difficult to approach or something like that.
Mhm.
So I think we'll at least get a cameo, and like the cameo could be the ATST that everybody
Yeah.
theorizes is on Endor.
Mhm.
That's a nice one, yeah. Now, moving away from Kingdom Hearts here, let's talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake, because I hear one of y'all is a big fan.
We both are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Both,
Yeah.
both of y'all, cool. So, rewinding back to, I think it was 2015 or 13, when they finally announced the reveal trailer for FF7 Remake, what was your guys' initial reaction?
Non-existent.
Yeah.
We hadn't played Final Fantasy VII, and Final Fantasy VII Remake is my first Final Fantasy game ever. So I had no knowledge except for Kingdom Hearts knowledge on Final Fantasy. So
Same
I
here.
didn't see the trailer.
Yeah. I didn't really see anything for it, I don't think, until maybe a few months leading up to the release, or something like that. But I really wasn't like paying attention to it
Mm-hmm.
until came out in 2020, right? December 2020,
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
that sounds right.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't really ride the hype train. But man, that's a good game.
It's
Very
such
good game. Very good game. It's like, because like you two, I've never played the original. So I went in like fresh, basically. I had no idea who in Barrett's team, everyone in that, I had no idea. But the graphics, the gameplay, the story, the plot twist at the end that we we will not get into. But it's just how it ends makes me really excited of what they're going to do next. How about you guys? Thoughts on the game?
You go first.
I can go first. Okay. Oh, I should have said I can go first. Um, but yeah, that game is a dream. Like it's a dream come true. So like I originally wanted to make video games. I studied to be a video game developer, and that is still like one of my dreams. So I've put a lot of my life into learning how to make video games, like top to
Nice.
bottom. And that game is just it's like the like a golden chalice. I can't remember. But like the mechanics, super solid, super approachable, but then enough complexity so that you can like play it the way you want to after you get comfortable. The pacing of the game and the unlocking of abilities makes you feel like you are always in control rather than like receiving gameplay. You are, part of the gameplay. And just the different options you have, the boss designs, everything's balanced really well. The side missions are, you know, like spread out well where they're like kind of innocuous. Then there are goofy ones. Then there are ones that are little world builders. And so all of that stuff's great. The progression system is like super easy to get along with. Um, And then the story, holy crap.
Yeah.
The
For real.
characters, you have to love all of them, I think.
Yeah.
All of them.
And then all of that is packaged in the most gorgeous video game I've ever seen.
And that's just the Unreal Engine 4. Imagine when it gets the Unreal Engine 5. That's, I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane.
For real. Now, moving away from that, I noticed that whenever you guys get a sub or something, you do a certain, like, hand signal thing. Like, how many hand signals do you guys have for alerts? And can we see them, please?
That should be the only one.
There was another one, but it was retired after Zing a Ding Ding came into existence. So there's this one, which, like, I'll just do it closer to the camera, I guess.
Nice.
That was a heart.
And then we
Right.
go.
Maybe explode the heart. And then there's this.
Oh yeah, I don't know if we ever or we did that like twice on stream.
So that's a bit.
Oh, y'all should do like the master hard hand thing. Like do this and then
Right.
zip, do that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. See, another thing that makes you guys unique. I love that. And do you think look, I want to talk about It Takes Two now. One of the best games of last year. Now, do you guys think with how successful that game was, do you think we're going to get more co-op games like that in the future?
I really hope so. I think there just aren't that many games that you can just sit next to someone else and play or connect online and play with someone else. I really hope that since that game was so successful that there will be a ton more.
Yeah, I hope that there will be, but a pessimistic analysis of the video game industry is that they're like, oh, cool, somebody figured out how to do that and they're willing to put the money into it. Let them keep doing it, even if they win the awards. So I think for most studios, most major studios, right, there isn't an incentive from the top down to make more games like that. That's why we have to keep looking at indie games, because I think It Takes Two is going to inspire a bunch of indie games that will be fantastic as well. But from a AAA level, I think they're going to keep trying to grind out the seasonal games and, what we've seen for the past 4+ years.
And that's the thing is like we as gamers are always asking about something new, but yet the same mundane things sell the most, and the new things don't. So that's why I'm so happy that It Takes Two did very well, because we want something new, people. Not the same old thing. But what was your favorite part of the game of It Takes Two?
There was a part, I can't remember exactly how to explain it, but there was a boss where I had to jump over a bunch of lasers and stay alive while you went into something and had to like press a button or do switch something.
Moon Baboon.
Yeah, exactly.
And that one was just so much fun. It was so crazy trying to stay alive.
I think that whole game is just perfect.
It is.
It
was really good.
When I think about my favorite part of the game, it's the entire thing, because there wasn't a moment when I was playing that game where I was like, I want to be doing something else right now. I was so happy to be playing it, and I was so happy I got to play it with you. Because that game really made playing it with someone an intimate experience rather than just a mechanical experience, right? Like you worked together on a deeper level, and you didn't have to necessarily, but you also did if you really wanted to succeed. And I don't know, it was just a great experience and a great memory too.
I think I know what everyone's least favorite part is. The elephant scene.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I'm just like, I didn't want to do this. Why are they drawing this out?
We tried to pause it to see if we could skip it. It was brutal. That made me so sad. At the end, they show the elephant too, and that made me sad.
Yeah. For me, the worst part of the game is when they show the parents. The parents are horrible. And they're still horrible at the end too. We can't let them get off easy just because they do realize that she's gone and run to the bus stop. Sorry if you haven't played it. But yeah, that they made me angry. Much more than killing the elephant did. Because it was their lack of caring that led to the elephant's death.
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of other games, what are like some of the upcoming games that you plan on streaming for your audience?
We're like our current games that we're still doing right now are Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories, and we think we're gonna go back and do a little more Dark Souls 3 and Breath of the Wild. But new games, we want to start Final Fantasy 13. We haven't played that yet, but we might do that as a YouTube series instead. So we're still playing around with some ideas.
Yeah, I think there's a chance that we stream Pokemon Scarlet or Violet.
Nice.
I think that's like the
New game.
only game that hasn't come out yet that we have enough hype for, like that we're paying attention to, I guess.
Yeah.
I can't think of other games that are coming out
I know,
yet.
like Breath of the Wild too.
Yeah, that got
Well,
moved to next year though.
Yeah, but we'll definitely play it when it comes out.
Yeah.
And whenever Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, I mean, do you guys play via mobile games also?
No, we want to watch the series at least, like on YouTube, watch all the cutscenes and stuff. But I tried to play the mobile games and I just couldn't figure it out. I could not progress. I don't know why. I couldn't. I tried.
I tried also. It just kept crashing on my phone. I'm like, I'll just watch this
Yeah.
on the YouTube. So my last question for you both is, if you found out you got partnered on Twitch, what's the first thing you would do?
No.
Announce a switch to YouTube.
Oh, I have no idea. I would be super happy though. Because that would just, I don't know, it already feels like a lot of our work pays off, but at the same time, you're looking forward and trying to grow, and partner is just such a big milestone that it would be super cool, but it's kind of like unbelievable. Like I can't fathom that actually happening.
I think for me, like the biggest thing I would want to do at that point is just make sure that we said thank you like a million times.
Yeah.
To everyone that supported us, because like already like where we're at right now has taken so much support from people, and like we wouldn't still be going if it weren't for the people that are supporting us. And then like to make partner, like that's a lot of people supporting us.
It's
So
incredible.
yeah, I would just want to figure out like what's the best way to say thank you, and that would be the partner stream, is whatever means thank you the most to the community that got us there.
Nice. And do you guys see yourself staying on Twitch or eventually migrating to YouTube or what?
I think there's a chance we'll do both and see what we like. I know you can't stream at the same time, so we would do like some Twitch streams and then some YouTube streams, just see how both go. They might be for different things. Like maybe we'll do a YouTube cooking stream, but a gaming Twitch stream. And
Yeah.
we'll just experiment and see when
Yeah.
the time comes.
I don't think we're in a rush right now to decide,
Mhm.
because Twitch isn't in a rush to change, and you know, YouTube doesn't really have the full environment that we would want to switch over for like a small creator, you know. So we're not in a rush to decide right now, but I would not be opposed to switching to YouTube. I think they've got a lot of promise right now.
Yeah, I think it just all depends on like will Twitch fix the problems it has, and will YouTube keep growing and becoming a more accessible platform for streaming.
Gotcha. Well, we are going to wrap things up right now with a fan favorite section of the show called Top 10 Questions at Motown DownTown. So, let me ask you guys this. Are you guys familiar with Inside the Actor Studio?
No.
Nah? Pretty much at the end of the show, they ask the guests 10 questions. So I'm going to ask you guys those 10 questions right now. So are you ready?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, so my first question is, what is your favorite word?
Potato.
Oh my god. Chemikalien. It's the German word for chemicals.
What is your least favorite word?
Can't. I know that's like a virtue signal thing to say, but it bothers me.
Boonies.
Boonies?
Yeah, I hate the word boonies. When people are like, that's out way out in the boonies.
Yeah, that is awfully dismissive.
What makes you happy?
Yeah, I was gonna point to you, but I was like, no, we can't do that. Yeah.
I need to add a aw sound effect, 'cause that's pretty cute. Now, what makes you upset?
No point.
It's not you.
No.
Not
having enough time.
Yeah, people being mean.
Yeah.
I know that sounds silly, but like, just why?
Yeah, when other people hurt other people,
Yeah.
that, like, I definitely do have like a strong compass for justice, and like I could be completely not involved and see that like someone was hurt by someone else, and I'll be like, why do people have to hurt other people?
For real. Yes. Now, what sound or noise do you hate?
Well, that's easy for you.
Yeah, for me, I hate the sound of chewing.
Yeah.
It really gets me.
I think for me that the sound that I hate the most is like people being interrupted. Because then I get so stressed by the idea that, like, again, like someone's being upset. Like I imagine that people just get like crazy upset when they're interrupted, and I don't want to be in that stressful situation where everybody's getting mad. And then it's also like the conversation gets harder to follow if everybody's interrupting each other, and I just want efficient communication because it already stresses me out so much.
Gotcha. Now, what sound or noise do you love?
Oh.
Molly's purr.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that.
I was going to say Molly's purr or meow.
Yeah, it's that, and then like the birds that we hear when we wake up on like a summer weekend. That's really nice.
Nice. Okay, Radiant Gardeners, what is your favorite curse word?
So I don't really swear. Crap.
Close enough. That's fine.
For me, it's fuck because it feels so good to say.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
yeah.
as a go-to word. Yeah. Now, what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I've wanted to be a musician, a singer for a while. I write songs, and if that could become an actual thing, that would be incredible.
I think like screenwriter, director, you know, like be involved in making movies.
Okay. Now, what profession would you not like to attempt?
Lawyer. Yeah.
Anything with public speaking, really. Which I know it's what Twitch is, but it's different.
Now, last question is, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Hey, what's up?
You're late.
Ladies and gentlemen, one big round of applause for our guest, Radiant Gardeners. Thank you so much for coming to the show. Thank you. So before we go, you want to say one last farewell to the audience?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you all for watching and for all of the support, and thank you so much, Mo Chocolate, for inviting us to be a part of this. This was a ton of fun.
Yeah, I feel like it can't be overstated how cool it is what you're doing here. Like, this is incredible, and so honored to be here and have people, you know, come watch us be here. So yeah, thank you for the opportunity and
Anytime.
for all of the hard work you put into this and being such a bright light on Twitch.